Hey, what's up guys, it's Rank Creates, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a guide on how to become unstoppably overpowered and have a place to farm 100,000 souls within 5 to 10 minutes in the Demon Souls remake for PS5. And even though this guide is going to be a tad bit lengthy, I'm still going to be doing it step by step so you new guys don't get lost while playing through this. So with all that being said, let's get right into the content. Okay, so first off we're going to start in World 1-1, where you can obtain some of the best gear in the game, honestly. And then after that we're going to go to World 4, and we're going to be able to unlock the 2 best spots to farm souls in the game. So with all that being said, let's start up our new character and let's choose our class. For our starting class we're going to want to choose Royalty, because Royalty not only gives us good dex and starts us off at soul level 1, but it also gives us magic, and magic is pretty overpowered. And then for our starting class we're going to choose the Providential Ring, which is going to raise our item discovery, which is really good since item discovery is going to allow us to get quite a bit of goodies off enemies. But now let's begin, starting at the gates of Boletaria. So in 1-1 we're first going to just start off the usual progression path. I don't really have too much else to say. Basically kill the enemies, learn how the game works if you haven't already. And honestly, I don't really recommend using your magic yet, just use your rapier. I like to personally bait those two out into the endless pit, but don't get too overwhelmed by enemies, take them on one at a time, take it a bit slow. Over here we can pick up some firebombs. We are definitely going to want to pick up as many firebombs as we can for the first boss of the area. But coming up here, get out your magic, because there's going to be 2 enemies with fire weapons and an enemy with a firebomb. That enemy that throws firebomb, you're going to want to make sure you kill 2, or else you're going to have to deal with him up here. But there's going to be a soldier with a boulder. Make sure that you aggro the soldier and then run back down the steps before the ball hits you. Now we're going to run over here because we're going to unlock the other shortcut. But before we do that, you can kill the Blue Knight any way you want. The Blue Eye Knights are pretty easy to either parry or fish a stab, and that's going to allow you to get behind him and do a backstab. So we're going to run down these steps. Down here at the very bottom, be very careful. Make sure that you aggro them one at a time. You don't want a bunch of enemies basically flailing their weapon at you with fire infused in them. But now come down here, open up the gate, and bam, you got yourself the Cling Ring. The Cling Ring is an awesome ring, probably one of the best rings in the game, as it allows you to have 25% more HP when in soul form, or take less damage when in soul form. But either way, it's an excellent ring you're going to be using throughout all of your time in Boletaria, because we're going to want to stay in soul form, especially for this guide. Now, after I've came back to restore all my MP, we're going to pick up this late moongrass. You could have picked this up earlier, but I chose to pick it up right now because we're going to want it more for, well, this part of the guide. But either way, you can kill these guys, these dragonlings, and get some moongrass from them. However, oh my goodness, when you're going back up here, pull them out one at a time and use your magic on them. But if you're feeling a bit spicy, go in for a couple R1s with your rapier. Just make sure you have enough stamina and heals to get away and pull through. We're going to do the same thing again with the Blue-Eyed Knight. We're going to backstab him, and then we're going to go down here, hurdle over this, and we're going to pick up the Thief Ring right next to Ostrava. The Thief Ring is another ring that's going to be mandatory for this guy, but is also really good to have because it basically reduces the enemy aggro range by a lot, and that's going to be really helpful, especially when we have less HP in soul form. Now we're going to take out all of these enemies with magic using our soul arrow, and we're going to just aggro this Blue-Eyed Knight right over here, get him to fight Ostrava, and usually you can get a bunch of enemies to gank and kill Ostrava. In most cases, in a perfect world, Ostrava will end up killing the enemies before they kill him. But in this case, I wasn't so lucky. So I had to go up and kill the Blue-Eyed Knight and the other Dregling. I almost died, but thankfully I was able to pull through. Definitely take them at range with your magic, though, if this does end up happening. Now make your way over here and get the Scimitar. This weapon I'm actually going to be using quite a bit earlier, or this weapon I'm going to be using quite a bit later on in the guide, so you're going to want to make sure that you have this weapon, because I personally think the Scimitar is pretty good, especially since this build does have a lot of dex orientation in it. Make your way up here, parry or backstab the knight if you want to. I almost die here, but overall I still am able to keep calm and just get a killing. Then I finish it with magic. Do the same with Archer. Now over here, make sure that you walk right in this position and fire a bit of magic at this wood. That's going to cause all of these little boulders to come down and wipe out all the enemies down there. You're going to want to make sure that you do kill all of them, just so we can get over to this next area, which should be pretty easy. So now that we're here, make your way to the bridge. Okay, so for the bridge area, kind of just juke them out and just roll through all their attacks. It can be a bit intimidating, but trust me, once you get it down, you'll be fine. Now make your way over to here and pull this lever. This is going to give us access to the Phalanx boss battle, and that's going to be really good. But now we're going to take it the other way, and we're going to go down here. You're going to see these characters right here with the spears, these weird blob thingies. They are Phalanx, and they're going to be a part of the boss, but you can kill them pretty easily by just going behind them, just running right behind them, and just attacking them from behind. But they are pretty susceptible to using fire bombs, so that is really good to keep in mind. For these soldiers, I like to use my magic, just because they're really annoying hiding behind their shield. Now I'm going to destroy all of the rubble here. You're going to want to make sure you do that first. And then we're going to basically kite this red-eyed knight all the way back over to the stairway. And it's very important that you do this, because you don't want to fight this red-eyed knight hand on hand 1v1. It's just not going to go too well. It's possible, but it's just not going to go too well, especially not the ones that have the pikes. So when you get to this part, the goal that we're trying to do is we're trying to basically get him to run off the edge by trying to attack us. Usually right here at the railing is where he'll do it, but I didn't get as lucky. If this ends up happening, just go around, do a roll away from the ledge, because you don't want to fall down, and just kite him back over. I like to go back up the steps because it allows me to have a bit more time to get myself together and prepare to basically make him fall to his death. So right here, we're going to just, and I get pretty lucky here, he actually falls down right here, but that's what you want to do. You want to basically get him to do that kind of running pike attack, and then he'll fall down. Now we're going to run back to the mausoleum, and we're going to fight Old King Doran, which, remember, you're going to want to destroy all those rubble, and you're going to find out why now. So here's Old King Doran. We want his armor, his weapon, and his ring. Okay, so I unequip all my weapons and my shield. You're not going to want to use a shield for him. However, if you do go back to the Nexus, you can buy the heater shield. The heater shield is the best lightweight shield in the game, giving you an 100% physical reduction, and it's extremely lightweight, and you can parry with it, making it the best light shield in the game. So if you're not going to use a strength build or wield heavy weapons, it's definitely a good recommendation. But now over here, I still don't recommend using a shield. Just kind of walk gingerly away from him. He'll follow you. Get him into the room with all the furniture. The reason why we destroyed it is because he'll actually swing his sword to break the furniture, and that could obviously end up killing you. But once you get him over to the other side and he starts walking back, start headbutting him. And just headbutt him out of this area. Once you get him to a certain point, you don't really have to worry about him swinging his sword anymore, because his AI is going to be more focused on getting him back to the mausoleum, since that was the place where you were intended to fight him at. But we're going to take him over here. It takes me about 3 minutes to get him over there to the staircase from the mausoleum. Might be a little bit quicker for you, maybe even a bit more later, depending on how well you do with the head button. But don't worry about him swinging his sword. He won't do it. Overall, we're just going to keep headbutting him over to this corner. And if you end up being afraid because you're going to run out of stamina, don't worry. You can just headbutt him once, and then he'll be like off his guard for the longest time. So you'll be able to recover a good amount of stamina. But just bring him over the stairs and just headbutt him down. Yes! I'm really happy now because we're getting ourselves the best armor set in this game, in my opinion. The Ancient King armor set and the Eternal Warrior ring. The Ancient King's armor set has the best defense resistant to weight ratio in the entire game. It's absolutely fantastic. And the Eternal Warrior's ring increases your stamina recovery, so it's like the Corinthian ring from Dark Souls. super duper sweet. Now you might notice that when you're wearing the full armor set, you might be fat rolling, and we're gonna change that. So we're gonna run all the way basically to where we saw Ostrava. So now we're gonna run all the way back down these stairs, because I believe right now we're gonna go and head over to the other direction. Yep, that's right. We're going to head up here. This is where I get out the rapier. Again, if you want, you can use the Falchion. I think the Falchion is just as good, if not better. It's a curved sword. It swings pretty fast too, but I believe its radius is a lot more wider when you swing, so it's pretty good. But right now, you're just going to follow the path that I'm taking, and we're going to go and get probably the best ring in this game, in my opinion. And we're going to have to head over to the bridge again. You're going to want to juke these guys out and run over to the dragons. There's going to be a blue dragon and a red dragon. So here, I kind of have to go back and forth between the bridge and here to basically kite the red dragon so he doesn't flame me. But overall, I kind of succumb to it. And right here, we have the purple flame shield. Now, the purple flame shield is by far the best shield of its class, because the purple flame shield has high fire resistance, but it also has 100% physical reduction. With the only other shield I could say being better is the one from the collector's edition, but that one you can't upgrade, and this one you can, making it even better. So now we're going to pick up the best ring, come over here, dodge the dragon tail, and bam, the ring of great strength. The best ring in my opinion. It raises your equipment limit, and that's absolutely awesome. So now we're not going to be fat rolling wearing the Ancient King's armor. But from there, roll down to this ledge and pick up 2 Archstone shards and 2 full moon grass. So these Archstone shards we just picked up, you can either use one now to get out of here, since they basically act like homeward bones from Dark Souls, where you use one and you'll be taken back to the HUD of the game without losing souls or your humanity. And that's basically what it serves in this game as well, which is really cool. Now, over here, I believe you can pick up the gas resistance ring and a few soul items, but I don't really think they're worth it. I'm kind of over here retrieving my souls because I died. I don't want to lose 30,000, not this early on at the least. You guys might notice I didn't pick up my favorite weapon, being the demon brand, and we're going to do that right now. So head back over to the mausoleum. You know how to get there by now, so I don't have to show that and waste time. But yeah, over here I almost died to the Red-Eye Knight. Kind of just kite him out and just dodge him, run past him, and pick up my favorite weapon, the Demon Brand. So the Demon Brand is an excellent weapon. I believe it requires 18 strength, 14 dex, and 12 faith to wield, so we're not going to be able to use it yet. But let's just prepare for the Phalanx boss. Bring your fire bombs, bring your flame resin, bring your scimitar, and maybe even go and stock up and buy some items from the people in the Nexus. So the strategy is I like to run to the other side of Phalanx and just start throwing fire bombs. Super duper effective. But even though it's a boss fight, you can actually kill these Phalanx members and get some upgrade materials from them. So make sure that you do that before killing the boss. But once the boss is defeated, congrats, you beat your first official boss of the game. But don't forget to pick up any other loose items that might be on the ground as spoils if you killed any other enemies before heading back to the Nexus. But once you head back to the Nexus, you're going to want to make your way up and talk to the Monumental so that we have access to the Maiden now, the Candle Maiden. And the reason why is because we want to upgrade. So you should have around like 32,000. You should have around like 47,000 souls. But I'm just going to go here and I'm going to upgrade my strength to 22, my dex to 14, and my faith is basically going to stay the same. I believe I upgraded my vitality and my endurance a bit. But now we're going to head over to World 4-1. So now that you're pretty powerful, keep in mind the Demon Brand does scale with White World tendency, so we're doing pretty good here. I recommend dying in the Nexus before coming here because you don't want to die in soul form outside the Nexus, or else that world will end up going towards Black World tendency, which is going to make Demon Brand less effective since it scales with the world tendency being white. So you're just going to follow this path I'm taking. We're going to pick up the best magic weapon in the game, or magic melee weapon, being the Crescent Falchion. So if you're going for a magic build, absolutely worth picking up. I think its scaling's pretty good, and if you're using a magic build, especially with the royalty class, why would you not use it? But yeah, the skeletons aren't going to pose too much of a threat to you. If you don't want to make a strength build or wield the purple flame shield, just use the heater shield. But yeah, we're going to pick up that key right there, the copper key, because we're going to get the longbow. And we're going to unlock a cool little merchant as well in the process. So go past the big boy right here, the Vanguard. And we're going to come here. There's going to be a hidden wall, or an illusionary wall. Kill the skeletons with some R1s and some shield blocks. And then make your way over to Grave Robber Blige, or Blig, I don't know what it is. But buy the longbow and some arrows. Now you have one of the best weapons in Demon Souls, honestly. But now we're going to make our way back over here. We're going to run all the way back to here, and we're going to do the Adjudicator skip, which is just doing a full roll to get onto the platform there, the broken down wall, and then we just basically make our way down here to the Adjudicator boss. So I recommend buying some simple spice back at the Nexus, and the reason why is because there's actually a nice way to beat the Adjudicator. So I like to stand up here at the upper platform, not the utmost, but the upper platform, and just fire magic from there. You can also do it from the ground, but I recommend doing it above, because above, the Adjudicator only does like 3 attacks. I believe he does like 2 overhand chops, which are vertical attacks, so they're very easy to dodge, and a tongue lick swing, which you want to dodge to your left when that attack happens. But besides that, he is well telegraphed, because every time the crow squawks, he's gonna attack. I do try to see how much damage I could do with Demon Brand here by hitting the wound on his left side, and I was able to almost kill him. But either way, use your simple spice or your fresh spice, and yeah, you can pretty much make him history very fast and easily. That's Adjudicator. Make sure that you've equipped the Thief Ring, because you do not want the monoliths to be aggroed on you and shooting crystals at you while you're dealing with the skellies. Not good. I like to stand like right near this war banner because usually the skeleton will just roll right off, but if you have to, just stay at about a greatsword's length on this ledge and just R2 spam them. Get behind the skeleton and backstab them. Really, really effective. These guys can be a bit scary. Just wait for them to swing, roll past, and get down here. Switch to your cling ring and eat some grass to get back to full. Roll through this annoying beam, get down here. Now for this guy right here, I like to bait him out by just waiting for him to go past the pillar. But I don't get so lucky, so I have to kind of just wait for him and just attack. Now down here's the hardest part. Dodge his beam. And then watch out for the Reaper. Stay to the left so the white doesn't blow you up. And then start the old hero fight. So the old hero is not difficult if you know how to beam correctly, but you are going to need to buy a ton of arrows. Even if you do use that new farming strategy, an area I gave you, and level up enough, I guess you could, but I think the arrows are just a lot more safe and easier, especially for beginners. This is usually how I always take him down. So when you're using your bow, aim for headshots and watch his attack pattern. He's going to do a few slashes, a running overhead swing, and he can get pretty close to hitting you sometimes. But overall, you want to watch out for his roar. When he does the roar, that basically means that if you attack him, he's saying, I'm going to aggro you and I'm going to attack you. And you don't want that, especially not if your health is really low. So just play it safe, be very patient, and you shouldn't run out of arrows and you should be able to kill him. This took me about 17 minutes. It usually takes around 15 to 20. He's not that hard, so that's good. But honest to goodness, just be patient. You don't want to end up getting him towards a one tap and then he ends up just one-shotting you. But if he does ever get that close with an overhead swing, roll to either your left or your right when it happens. But yeah, the old hero's history, and congratulations, you just beat the hardest part of this guide. Now I recommend going back to the Nexus and dying there so that you don't end up dying to this boss, because this boss, even if you do have quite a bit of vitality, can still become quite overwhelming. So the Storm King. Okay, so the Storm King. It's time to avenge Steve Irwin. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up this new moongrass. And we're going to run over here to this collapsed building, where we can pick up some holy arrows, which is nice. But now we're going to run and go grab the legendary Storm Ruler. So yeah, if you've been following this guide, you have 3 methods of killing the monoliths and the Storm King. You can use your longbow and arrows. Holy arrows are really good against this boss and these enemies. Or you could use magic. You can use your soul arrows, or if you bought better soul arrows and saved Sage Freck, that's another really good way. But we're just going to keep to the Storm Ruler. It's a lot more easier and effective. And you can usually knock out multiple monoliths at once, which is nice. But once there's like only 2 little monoliths left, the Storm King is going to make his way over to you. Alright, so now the Storm King is going to pretend to be a B-52 bomber. And he's just going to send a bunch of kamikazes with crystals to shoot and hopefully miss you. You just have to really just time your rolls well and you'll make it through this battle pretty easily. Make sure you strike the head when he swoops in and you'll basically have this in the bag. Storm King's a really fun boss battle, but the only real thing I could recommend is coming in here in soul form and dying to Nexus. And of course having enough inventory space to be able to pick up this Storm Ruler. But besides that, he just wants to fly away from me for a little bit and I don't really appreciate that. But we're just gonna wait patiently for him to come back and strike him down. But once you defeat him, congratulations, Guys, you have now completed the guide. You are now unstoppably overpowered, and you now have a place to farm 100,000 souls within 5 to 10 minutes, or possibly even more. And you can basically go look online, see what builds you want to make, and basically stomp the game and send revenge to any bosses that have been giving you any trouble. Really, Demon Souls is a game that deserves to be broken because of how difficult it is, and really, I'm glad the game gives us so much freedom. Now keep in mind you did defeat an archdemon here, so you can now access 1-4 and fight the penetrator boss fight. And you shouldn't really have too much trouble with him since you now have a really good place to farm souls and you have overpowered gear, so pretty much you are ready to take him down. But yeah, keep in mind you can basically make whatever build you want. You also have the Crescent Falchion, and you have a bit of magic with you, and again, magic is really powerful in this game. This poor invader just didn't know who he was messing with when he tried to invade me. But yeah, basically you guys can see right here, we're pretty overpowered even against these people. Even against most invading players. I'm like soul level 50 I believe here. And he invaded me, and the PvE and him just aren't looking too good. You guys can tell I'm really like stamina breaking him. I'm roll catching him. Yeah, overall, if you ever see a guy wearing Doran's armor, you better run, because that guy is a mad gamer god. Just like you now. But yeah, magic really is overpowered. Magic builds are absolutely the best for this game. Again, old King Doran's armor. Great defense to weight ratio. The purple flame shield is a shield that has 100% physical protection and high flame resistance, so you really can't go wrong with it. And Demon Brand scales with the White World tendency. So overall, you're set to basically go through Demon Souls. I hope this video was super helpful to you guys. If it was, make sure to drop a like on the video. And if you want more Demon Souls content like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video when I upload. Also, be sure to check out my Demon Souls playlist while you're at it for PS5 Remake. Definitely a great place to check out if you want more Demon Souls content by me. Also, a huge special thanks to Vati Vadia and the Ashen One, as I basically combined their two tutorials and made them into one, with of course me making a step-by-step guide for new players so that nobody's left behind. So make sure to go over to their videos and their channels, I'll put them in the link in the description below, and tell them that I sent you over there and that I love them and what they do. But I love you guys so much for watching this video. I can't wait to see you guys next time, and go out there and be the Demon Slayer. Till next time, peace out guys.